And these games are going to be Sunrise at the Studio, Floriferous, and Snowfall over Mountains. The first one I'm going to be going over is Snowfall over Mountains. This one is actually a solo game that takes about 20 minutes to play. And in this game, you're going to be starting from your cabin and then placing different cards with different footprints, flora, and different points of interest in order to create different sets or adjacencies that you'll want in order to accomplish the different goals offered in that particular game. There's going to be a bunch of different objective cards that will grant you victory points, but you will also be able to gain some special action cards that will allow you to perform some special actions throughout the game in order to try and manipulate the overall pattern to your favor. Sunrise at the Studio actually plays up to 4 players, but still just takes about 20 minutes to play. And this one is a drafting and set collection game where players are going to be different potters creating different bowls and vases and mugs in order to create different sets and get the most victory points at the end of the game. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of info on how this one plays, but you will be using different resources to go through the process of building the item that you're trying to build and applying the appropriate glaze and paint in order to end up with that final product. Then the final game offered in this campaign is Floriferous, and this is a game that was offered in a previous campaign, so I did actually already cover this one, and I'll just go ahead and roll that previous footage for you now. And this plays 1 to 4 players and takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play. And this is a set collection game where players are going to be walking through a garden and trying to collect different flowers in order to gain victory points. Players are going to be walking through the garden by placing their pawn on the tableau, and the pawn is going to represent your location in the garden. Wherever that pawn gets placed, you're going to be able to make a decision from one of 2 options. You can either select flowers to add to your set, or you can select cards that determine which sets will grant you points. So you're basically collecting cards that will define what other cards get you points, but then you're also trying to get those cards. In addition to the set collection in this game, you'll also be able to find some different sculptures and stones for bonus points. And buying on Kickstarter will get you a few extra items for free that will be sold separately in the retail edition of the game. And that includes a mini expansion that's going to add a little bit more complexity in the game because it's going to give you some different options on how you can move your pawn throughout the garden. It also includes components and rules for solo gameplay called the Pesky Guest, which is provided by a guest designer. And something else that's really interesting about this campaign is that all the artwork is actually hand-painted watercolor artwork by a really excellent artist. And if you search up her name, you'll see that she covers quite a variety of subjects with her artwork, but most importantly, she also does some kitty cats.